Hi guys, it's Faye and welcome back to the channel. Firstly, please ignore my hair. I don't know how to not make it go. It's gone all fluffy and it just is what it is. But other than that, I'm going to do a bit of a different video than I have done previously. So if you have seen any of my previous videos, you'll know that I am not an avid reader, but I have recently got more into reading. So I'm going to do a video today about the books that I've read so far this year and the books I plan on reading. I do just want to say, obviously, I appreciate that there are people on BookTube and that who have like monthly reading lists, but I am a very slow reader. So the fact that I've gotten through this many is astonishing to me. So let's start. So the first two books here are Alice and Red Queen. They're by Christina Henry. They are a dark retelling kind of Alice in Wonderland. I say a retelling, but it's more based on the characters but set in a completely different way. So the first book starts with Alice in a mental hospital because of stuff that's happened in her past. It's quite detailed, and I wouldn't recommend it for people who are don't like horror, don't like blood, or you know, the idea of being attacked or the characters being attacked. I really enjoyed the books. Well, I really enjoyed Alice. I think that was really good. I think the second book, Red Queen, personally lacked the same sort of flair, I guess, the first book had. Like, the first book felt quite realistic, like it was dark, it was grungy. The second book was a bit more magical, which didn't really suit the theme, in my opinion. So yeah, it's probably not a book series I would go around telling people to read. I enjoyed it. And yeah. Next book is Good Girl's Guide to Murder. This is by Holly Jackson. This is such a good book and I would definitely recommend it. It is classified, I believe, as a YA crime thriller. Now, it's not actually a guide to murder, just to specify, because I've gotten some weird looks when I've tried to tell my colleagues or family about the book. What it actually is it follows the main character Pip and her school project, where she tries to find out what happened to another student, I think it was 5 years ago, who went missing and is presumed dead. Yeah, it's really well written and I really like the fact that it's kind of broken up. It's not like laid out traditionally, so you've got your normal chapters, but then also you've got her production logs. So for those who aren't British, it is set in England. The main character Pip is doing her EPQ, which is what you would do in your A-levels instead of another subject, or your GCSEs as well. It stands for your extended project qualification, which is like the same or the equivalent of a GCSE, I believe. I personally have never done an EPQ, but that's what she's doing. So you basically choose a subject, you research it, you create a question, you come to a conclusion with a question. Similar to a dissertation, but not as specific or detailed, I'd go with. So you've got the production logs. Let me just find an example of what that looks like. So it's like this. It's still set up like the rest of the book, but for me it just broke down the chapters a bit more, which as someone who's not a super big reader who can just sit and whack out chapters after chapters, it was a really nice break. And also it then switches the point of view as well, so it's written in third person. I wanted to say narrative, but I think it is third person, where you can hear her thoughts, and the production logs are then written in first person because she's writing them. Definitely would recommend to everyone. Very good. So next I have the Atlantis series. Now, I didn't read all of these this year. I want to clear that up now. I read this first book, The Atlantis Gene, I think I read it during lockdown, so in 2020. Then I immediately started the second book, which is The Atlantis Plague. Also, I love these covers. I think I read that. I have an issue with series and reading series. Because I started it straight after the other one, it felt more difficult to get into, because it's kind of like most series, the second and third book will start with recounting what has happened previously, which I didn't really like. So I started it, then I put it down for a while, started reading something else, and then I picked it back up. So finished the Atlantis Plague this year, and then started the last book, The Atlantis World. Nice green one. Again, another one that I started and then put down, read something else, and then came back to it. So, what happens in these books? Great question. I'm not great at summaries, so I will give it a go. It is science fiction meets conspiracy theory is what I'm going to go with. Basically, you follow multiple points of view, which I really enjoyed. There's science, like actual science in it, then there's like a spaceship, and there's this thing called Clock Tower, which is like the government. There's a lot going on, and I don't want to say too much and spoil it for anyone who wants to read it, but I would recommend, if you are a science fiction fan like myself, definitely read these books. Just a short disclaimer, the first two books are very similar, the third book very, very different to the other two, but I like there was a nice conclusion to it. Personally, I preferred the last book. But I'm not going to say any more than that. Really good. If you're a sci-fi fan, the Atlantis series by A.G. Riddle would definitely recommend. So now I'm going to talk about the books that I'm currently reading and the books that I plan on reading for the rest of this year. Again, I can't say that I will get through all of them because I am a very slow reader, though I'm trying to read more. First book, the one that I'm currently reading, is Fahrenheit 451 by Ray Bradbury. It's backwards on the screen so I can read it. I have only just started this one, so it's still quite new. Basically the synopsis is in like a dystopian future, and the main character is ordered to burn the books. Again, I've only just started it, so I'm not 100% sure really why they're burning the books, but hopefully I'll find out. The book was first published in 1953, which I think I have found quite blatant from the different like writing styles from what is now seen as faux pas in writing nowadays. But yeah, I will definitely let you know what I think of this. I've only just started it. Next book on my to be read list is Good Girl, Bad Blood, which is the second book in the Good Girl's Guide to Murder series by Holly Jackson. Basically, it follows the main character, does another crime. I'm excited because I really liked the first one and I like the main character. I think For me personally, she's very relatable because she's quite type A, and I relate to that. I've got another, I would say classic, quite a popular one, Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. I actually know nothing about this, I'm going to be completely honest. I know nothing about it, I've heard about it though. It sounds like something I would like. It's on my to read list. Next book is called City of Strangers. It's by Ian Mackenzie. This is actually a book that I picked up at my local library. I think it was like 50p. I don't know why they were selling books, but I picked it up because it sounded good to me. I'll just read you the top of the blurb. It says, family secrets, a fateful encounter, and the violence and beauty of life in the city. That drew me in. So, City of Strangers, also on my to-be read list. Then I've got Fated, which is by Benedict Jacker. This is the first book in a series, from what I understand. Honestly, I don't know that you shouldn't. I saw the cover and was like, I need to know more about it. Read the blurb, read the synopsis. It seems like it's about like mages, magic, an underground system, and some mysterious creature or item that has appeared that they need to try and work out. So, on my list. Okay, so now I've got this book. Now I've got Stormtide with me, which is actually the second book in the series by Den Patrick. The first book I've currently got on order, I'm waiting for it to come in, called Witch Sign. Now, I found this book at my local Waterstones, read the blurb, it sounds pretty good, but then I realised it was the second book. Me being slightly obsessed with buying books at the minute, bought the second book anyway, in the hopes that I will actually like the first book. It seems like, from what I gathered, or what I've taken, seems like a prison break in space. That's the gist that I've gotten from the second book. The first book, I haven't actually looked at that much, but this sounded good, so I'm sure the first book will be good as well. So Witch Sign and Stormtide are also on my list. So those are the books that I've read so far this year, the ones that I'm planning to read for the rest of the year. If you guys have any other recommendations, please let me know. If you want any more information about the books that I've read, drop a comment, message me on my socials. I'm happy to talk about it. If you've read any of these books as well, let me know what you thought down below. Other than that, I will see you next time. Bye!